Have you ever wondered where the names of our months come from? January, February, March? They just roll off the tongue. But have you ever stopped to think about why March is March or why July is July? There's a whole lot of history behind these names, stretching back to ancient civilizations. Today we're diving into the fascinating origins and meanings behind the names of the 12 months in our calendar. Some are named after gods and goddesses, others for festivals and celebrations, and some even for Roman emperors. So buckle up, because we're going on a journey through time to uncover the secrets hidden in plain sight on our calendars. Let's kick off the year literally with January. Named after the Roman god Janus, this month is all about fresh starts and new beginnings. Janus is often depicted with two faces, one looking back at the past and the other gazing forward to the future. He was the god of doorways, gates, transitions, time, duality, beginnings and endings. So as you sip your hot cocoa and make those resolutions this January, take a moment to think of Janus, the two-faced god, guiding us into the unknown. Next up is February, the shortest and, let's be honest, sometimes the most dreary month of the year. The name February comes from the Latin word februa, which refers to an ancient Roman festival of purification called Februa. This festival was a time for the Romans to cleanse themselves of the past year's wrongdoings and to make offerings to their gods. Even though we don't celebrate Februa anymore, there's something quite beautiful about using this time of year for a little self-reflection and maybe a little spring cleaning, both literally and figuratively. As the weather starts to warm up, at least in some parts of the world, we welcome March. Named after Mars, the Roman god of war, March has a history that's a bit more, shall we say, intense. In ancient Rome, March was the time when the military campaigns would resume after the winter lull. It was a time for soldiers to sharpen their swords, for battles to be fought, and for victories or defeats to be had. So, while we might not be preparing for war these days, March still feels like a month of energy and action. Chapter 4. April. A time to bloom. April. The month of showers, flowers, and, of course, the name that probably brings to mind the word aperire, which means to open in Latin. Just like the buds on the trees and the flowers pushing through the earth, April is a time for us to blossom. It's a time to embrace the beauty around us and to allow ourselves to grow and change. So, as you watch the world come alive this April, remember that you too are capable of incredible transformation. Chapter 5. May. Honoring Mother Earth. May, the month named after Maya, the Roman earth goddess of growing plants, is a time when nature is truly in its element. Everything is lush and green, the flowers are in full bloom, and the days are getting longer. Maya was a nurturing and benevolent goddess, often associated with fertility and abundance. As we celebrate May Day and all the joys that spring has to offer, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty and bounty of the natural world. Chapter 6. June, a month for weddings and Juno. June, the month named after Juno, the Roman goddess of marriage and the well-being of women, is a time for love, commitment, and new beginnings. It's no wonder that June is considered the most popular month for weddings. Juno was a powerful and important goddess in Roman mythology. So as we celebrate the love and commitment of couples saying "I do this June," let's also take a moment to appreciate the strength and resilience of women everywhere. July, named in honor of Julius Caesar, takes us deeper into the heart of summer. Born in this very month, Caesar decided to give himself a little birthday present by renaming Quintilis, as it was previously known, meaning fifth in Latin. Caesar's legacy is complex, a mix of military brilliance, political ambition, and ultimately tragedy. If July got a rebrand, it's only fair that August got in on the action too, right? This month, named after Augustus Caesar, the first Roman emperor, was originally called Sextilis, meaning sixth. Augustus was a shrewd ruler, known for his ambition and his ability to consolidate power. He ushered in a period of peace and prosperity for Rome known as the Pax Romana. So, as we soak up the last rays of summer sun this August, let's take a moment to appreciate the legacy of Augustus and the impact he had on shaping the world we live in today. September, from the Latin word septem, meaning 7, might seem a bit out of place in our calendar. But remember, the early Roman calendar only had 10 months. September was originally the 7th month before January, and February were added later on. It was a time for harvesting, for celebrating the fruits of their labor, and for preparing for the coming winter. Chapter 10. October, 8, is the magic number. October, from the Latin word octo meaning 8, continues the trend of months named after their original positions in the early Roman calendar. As the days grow shorter and the air turns crisp, October marks a time of transition. Chapter 11. November, the 9th month. That's now the 11th. November, from the Latin word novum, meaning 9, is another reminder of the ever-evolving nature of calendars. Once the 9th month in the Roman calendar, November is now our 11th, but its name still reflects its historical roots. As the days grow shorter and the nights grow longer, November invites us to embrace the coziness of the season. Chapter 12. December. 10 turns to 12. And finally, we come to December, from the Latin word decem, meaning 10. Originally the 10th and final month of the Roman year, December now marks the end of our calendar year. From Christmas to Hanukkah to Kwanzaa, December is a time for coming together with loved ones and celebrating the magic of the season. So there you have it, the fascinating origins and meanings behind the names of the 12 months in our calendar. From Roman gods and goddesses to ancient festivals and even a couple of emperors, each month has its own unique story to tell. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the origins of the months' names, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our channel for more fascinating content.